Hey, what's up? It's me, Tim Keys, and I'm here to talk about Sampletank version 4 from IK Multimedia. Now, Sampletank 4 has been around for quite some time, and in my opinion, I feel like it's one of those companies that doesn't get enough spotlight. So I kind of wanted to talk about some of the pros and the cons of having this product and why I like it and some things you need to consider if you're not using this product but thinking about purchasing some of the libraries. So getting into it, first and foremost, Sampletank version 4 is free. The host is free to use, which is very cool. Now once you go through the extensive process of downloading everything, all the get the product, get the all the stuff and get everything working, this is the screen that you will be shown. And as you can see, there are 8 different parts or 8 different instruments that you can upload. I'm going to click on a loading instrument and I'm going to go over just a few patches right out the rip. So we're going to click on Alive and Moving, first instrument. Now some of these take a while to upload. All right, going into the main editing screen, this is what you will see. You'll see a patch that you have selected, and then your waveforms. You could pick your amp, different type, and so forth, which is kind of cool. I have not messed with this part yet. I'm not going to. You can do that if you decide to download the product, but it's there. You get 2 oscillators to work with. You can determine your levels. You have all the basic stuff like the pitch, fine tuning, things of that nature. You can do some detuning between the first and the second. You have your velocity settings that you can set up. You have your different playback modes, all standard. Polyphonic, mono, legato, legato 2. What is important to note though is that they give you a very generous amount of voices that you can adjust. So this patch is on 64 voices right now, but you can turn it all the way up to 256 voices. You could do that, I think, with all of the instruments there. So you can adjust that, polyphony amount. So if you're somebody that's crazy on the keys, you can adjust that polyphony so you can have a more realistic expression without having to have your notes drop off. You got 2 LFOs and the different types of waveforms that you can pick. You got your different filter types. The website advertises that you got 16 different filter types to work with: M, R type, C type, O type, phaser, format, and classic. And then you have your different playback modes: low pass, band pass, high pass, peak, notch, and the different stages. The options available will depend on the filter type that you select. And then you have your envelopes that you can adjust and fine tune to get the stuff you like. Got a transpose button, so if you are not necessarily good with the keys, or you just want to try a different sound and be out of the note of C, you hit that button right there. MIDI channel options, etc., etc. Going into the effects rack, they give you 5 effects that you can, or channels that you can drop stuff into. And so you have different amplitude amplifiers, distortions, dynamics and EQs, different modulation tools, different reverbs, different filters. So you got more filters here than in the filter selection portion, which is cool. And you have a boatload of different phasers and flangers and ensembles to use to get your sound. Over here, you have like your phrases, so drum playbacks and acoustic drums, electronic drums. You can do some synth wave stuff. You can also set this up for strumming for different guitar patches. You could customize this stuff, or you could just adjust the presets and the patterns that come with it. Same thing with your arpeggiation. You got your standards, your up, downs, random, as played, chords, and so forth. a lot of stuff is here. So this is a very capable device. And the initial shell, the VST in and of itself, is free. And sometimes they do have free versions of their products that you can download and try out, just so you can get a feel for what it sounds like. You can go here and do some automation assignments right here, reset, change your settings. You want to go shopping, see what they got, you can do that there. You can set your macros here, or you can set your pads here. So again, a fair amount of flexibility, and everything is laid out in a fairly simple interface. And again, I'm just using the basic stuff that I've pulled up and have been downloaded and whatnot. I'm going to go over a few of these patches, do more of a demonstration in a song context, and then go from there. Talk about some pros and cons. Anyhow, I'm going to give you a few more of these patches. Let's do a Black Day. Pretty neat, pretty neat. I like that patch. And again, what I want to emphasize with this particular product, Sampletank specializes. They do a lot of different stuff, but to me, their bread and butter is kind of the sampling of old classic analog instruments and putting them in a simple to use interface like what we got here, and being able to play it. So if you want those classic sounds, I would check out Sampletank and IK Multimedia's software packages. Not bad, not bad. Is it, a lot of this stuff in terms of your sounds is going to be subjective. What do you prefer? All of that stuff. I think this sounds pretty good. Let's do a couple of brass. Let's do the Android trumpet. Too short for me. I don't know about that one. I like the texture. The feel is a little bit different. I had to sit around and play with it and get used to it. Let's do a couple. Let's do this one. Don't take too long. Yeah, it's taking too long. Must be a big one. That's better. I like that. So yeah, a lot of the sounds is going to be based on the patches and how they recorded it and so forth. I like the swells in the hot horn section. I would definitely use that in some song at some point. I'm gonna go to the pads, do a couple of leads, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. That's not bad. That's supposed to be from the Jupiter, and this is from the the Juno. like that. All right, let's get out of that. Let's do some leads. You know, the brass. Do me right with these leads. Which one did I play? Abusive modulation. Do it for me. Interesting. So that particular patch, the settings and how it's spread out in the keyboard is a little bit different. I'm in my lower octave range. Definitely got some low end, at least from what I'm hearing. When I get to this D note right here, there's nothing there. Yep, that's cool. In terms of textures and whatnot, you know, I think this is well put together. Am I hearing distortion? Let's see. Yep, I'm hearing distortion. Just a smidge. And probably if they got resonance going in, might be picking up on that too. That's cool. Let's do... I mean, drums is... Let's see, drums is basic. A lot of these will, again, depend on what you got loaded up. Let's do one. Let's see what they got for EDM. Interesting. I don't know how they got that set up on the keys, but not every key has all of the drums. Let's do the hip hop. All right. I don't know if that's a hip hop kit. All right. They got more stuff going in the synth wave. That's cool. I'm gonna get out of the drums. I'm gonna get out of the drums. No diss to the drums. And I imagine if I had different libraries, I would get a slightly different, maybe perhaps better snapshot of the drum section. So I don't want to speak on that too fully. They're there. Check them out. You might like them. Let's see, we'll do one more for the bass. Get out of the drums. All right. Tech wave. Let's do this full TP3. Oh gosh. I am not a techno. Not a techno type dude. Not that version of techno. So if I butcher it, I apologize. I do hear a lot of that bottom end that I do hear in the TB03 emulations, performances, etc., etc. Let's do the Supernova bass pad. cool. That's cool. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff here. And again, this initial device is free. So in that respect, it's good. And then IK Media and Multimedia will have their sales. So you can check out things from that vantage point, see what you like. And, I'm sure there's something there for you, if you look hard enough. On the flip side, I will say this. Um, One of the things I run into with the multimedia stuff is the importing samples. You definitely have to make sure, like, you set up your path for your folders, and then you just want to make sure that you have your samples labeled like how they describe here. So must include, be separated by space, this, that, and the third, C1. If you don't have your samples laid out in this format they're asking you to do, it will not recognize your samples. And no, they do not have the ability to drag and drop, which is a bummer, because I feel like if I could put my own samples into this device right here, I would be great. And it would be great for the product, especially with all of the different stuff that's here that you can use. But, they don't do that, and it might have something to do with how their stuff is formatted. So just be mindful of that. Make sure if you're doing your samples, you have it named properly so it can recall the sample into the VST and you can play it. And I don't know if I said this earlier, the downside, again, making sure you have your serial codes and all that stuff, keeping track of that, because if you don't, once you buy the library, or acquire the library, because they do have the free stuff that they will give out from time to time. If you don't keep track of those serial numbers, or you don't activate the product within a certain time frame, you will have to pay a $9 fee. Can't remember which one it was, but I know I had to pay a $9 fee to reactivate everything and get some new serial codes in. So make sure you stay on top of that, because if not, you will be paying an extra couple dollars to get your stuff, and that may be a deterrent for you. Lastly, if I haven't said it already, and I apologize if I have, I've shot this video a few times, but these libraries are super duper computer resource rich. Like, yeah, they have a product on sale right now. It's around 600 gigabytes of space. So it's going to be a long, download process to put all that stuff in your hard drive. You got to make sure you got the space for it, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to use all the stuff. So it does take up a lot of space, depending on the library that you get. And again, you'll see what I'm talking about when I put the links up in the description. Other than that, this is a good product. I like the sounds on it, and I'll do a quick demonstration so you can see it, making my own trash beats per se, just to give you a feel. That's enough of that. So as you can hear, like, this product has very rich sounds to it, because it's sampling those classic instruments and giving you that feel sonically of that classic instrument, those Jupiters, those Oberheims, those Moogs, and all the different stuff that you may not necessarily be able to get your hands on as easily. They kind of put it in a simple, easy use package for you. It sounds good, in my opinion. How does it compare to UVI? How does it compare to Arturia? Arturia's model UVI, that's their own sample-based stuff. They're all different. I think they sound good. It depends on what you use, how you combine these sounds together, and what you're using them for. This is just a tool, another tool that you can use in your music production journey. So thank you for watching this video. I'm Tim Keys. I appreciate you watching. I'm out.